Can I taste your juice?
Hey folks, PBusardo, what's going on, you guys? Unfortunately, no time for a review this week. Is that wire in the way? I don't think so. No time for a review this week, but I wanted to put out some content this week. Last night we did the Smoker Show. This video is going to be a little bit on NVE Foxwoods 2018, and then I have to pack. I have to pack because tomorrow I leave for France, Lille, France, to be exact. Gonna be part of the Vape Expo. Now, Vape Expo, run by Patrick, is a fantastic event, and an event that I really do enjoy going to. Most of the times it's in the Paris area. This time he's kind of expanding a little bit. He's bringing it out to Lille, Paris, or Lille, France. See, I got my cheat sheet right here. And it is going to be March 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Lille Grand Palace. Looking forward to that. Always enjoy those events, the Vape Expo events done by Patrick. Very, very well done event. And I'm going to be there with my brother from another mother this weekend. So if you are in that area and you have the opportunity, make sure you stop by and say hi and see what's going on in Lille, France at the Vape Expo event. All right. So, Foxwoods, you know, do I even need to really cover events anymore? When I was there, I have never seen so many cameras and so many video cameras and so many GoPros and so many everything just covering the event. So there's a lot of coverage for these events these days. But I was there and I did shoot a little bit of video, talk to a few people, and I figured I'd go ahead and ramble on and share that with you in this video right here. Let me start off by saying, folks, I do much better with other stuff in my life than with video quality. As a matter of fact, I can take something as gorgeous as that right there and really, really, really make it look like dog shit. It was actually my first time using this at an event, and I don't know if I had the focus set wrong or if I wasn't focused on the subject or there was no autofocus turned on. But like I said, first time using it at the event, so some of this footage is not as in focus as I would like it to be. But you know what? Live and learn and grow with each and every event and each and every vape device you use. All right. So you know, I've been with the NVE, the National Vape Expo events, probably from the start with Mike Wittenberg, and I've seen them grow, and I've seen them mature, and I've seen them become more and more professional, and I do appreciate that, and I know Mike is working hard at that. So let's start this video off with a real quick chat that I had with Mike about the event, because he was, as you can imagine, when you have that many people, that large of an event, it takes a lot of follow-up and a lot of putting out fires. So I did have a quick opportunity to talk with Mike, and here's that right now. How dare they talk and like interrupt this incredibly important interview? That
I gotta be honest, the priorities in this place suck.
It's unbelievable. So I know you're going like 1,000,000 miles a minute, and I know you have a ton of stuff to do. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk for a couple of minutes. So who are you and what do you do? So your name is Fred, and this is the NCW event?
Topeka, Kansas. And, you know, we're on some tribal land.
And the reason why I'm busting his balls is because I was on a vape show somewhere, and I couldn't remember the name of this show.
True. but we forgive Phil. He's old, and, you know, your memory goes.
It's what happens. I have to up the amount of not CoQ10. What's that? The Ginkgo Balboa, I think.
That's for your penis, Phil.
Well, you know, you get that. Anyway, so anyway, hey folks, PBusardo. I'm here at NVE Foxwoods. How many Foxwoods events have we had now?
This is 5 now. This is 5 events here.
5 events.
Yeah.
So I'm with Mike Wittenberg. Would you consider, or you call yourself the organizer of the event?
Sure.
Okay. And tell me, like, so what got you started in vaping? What got you started in the convention series?
Well, I've been producing conventions for 15 years in, you know, couple different industries. And when I started vaping to quit smoking, I noticed that there was no Northeast convention. I'm from the Northeast. So when I found out that there was no Northeast convention and they had Jersey that got shut down, I immediately thought of Foxwoods or the casinos in Connecticut. And, 5 years later, we're sitting here, and 3 years later, we're sitting here 5 shows in, and one keeps getting better than the next.
This is really good, and I really appreciate the fact that you have the upstairs with the modders gallery.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that get bigger, because shows have become big liquid, conventions, right? And I think it's cool for people to see more hardware and hold more hardware, maybe hardware that they couldn't see or feel or touch everywhere else, right?
Yeah, no, we try to have a balance, but obviously there's significantly more, liquid companies than there are hardware companies, but we do try to have the balance, and we always have to have the modders gallery, which is all the premium stuff, the woods, all the casted stuff, and they do a really nice job doing it. Lucy from Streamline does it for me, and she's great, and the show really just works here and the way it is. It worked really well.
So how many shows, because Foxwoods isn't the only place that you have NVE events. Yeah. We've done, as a matter of fact, I was at the Reno event. How many shows do you have under your belt at this point?
We're 7 shows in. We have 4 this year. Right now after this we have Mobile in May. We have Richmond, Virginia in August, and then we have Denver in October.
That's awesome, and apparently I'm going to be at all of them?
Yes, you are. Well, if you remember.
Just send me reminders. I'll be okay. What have you learned from show 1 to where you are now?
I learned that if you do things just a little, if you go out of your way to do things the right way, your reputation stays solid. You don't have the IP infringements, you don't have the marketing to kids stuff, and you have a fun time, but you keep professional, because at the end of the day, this is a serious subject. It is a good solution for smokers like myself, like Phil. And if you pay it respect and still have fun, you'll be around forever, and we'll have a great time doing it.
That's awesome, because I have noticed that, from the first one to where we are now, especially Mike, Giant Vapes, being involved, he wants to keep it clean too. But I've definitely seen, not that things were bad at the beginning, but things are looking really, really good, and I appreciate that.
You always, and I appreciate it. We always have to get better. If it's just one thing, if it's just one thing to show, we get a little better every time, and we learn things every time. We just try to put out the best product for our vendors, our fans, everybody.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go because I know you got a billion things to do. Thanks, Mike. Lots of luck with the new shows, too, okay? See you guys. So, yeah, I've seen a really big improvement in the NVE events, from where they started to where they are today. I know he does do a lot of vetting. I would say, brand infringement, I caught, a couple, and childish advertising or marketing to youth. That's kind of a subjective thing, but there was nothing very, very blatant there. So I think it was done really, really well, and I look forward to attending more of the NVE events and working with Mike to see how maybe we can incorporate more starter kits or get the smokers a little bit more involved with the event as well. Okay, so nice job, Mike Wittenberg. One of the things that I really enjoy most about going to these events and doing these events is just meeting people. Meeting people who watch the videos, meeting people who send emails, meeting people who comment on the videos. I may not always remember who you are, actually very rarely remember who you are, and I apologize for that. Back when I started doing this, and I think I went to my very first event, I made a video just apologizing because I am so bad. I am so bad with remembering people, with remembering faces, with remembering names. So if you believe me, our conversation means no less to me because I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say. But if the conversation ends with me shaking your hand and saying, it was really, really good to meet you, and you turn to me and you say, Phil, we've met like 5 times before, I apologize, guys. I really, really do apologize in advance, but that is just something that I kind of have to deal with, and I mean nothing by it. But yeah, so just meeting people, hanging out with people, talking to people, and if you come up to me and say, hey Phil, big fan, first thing I'm going to tell you is don't be a fan, be a friend. Who the hell am I to have fans? I don't fall into this whole vape fame thing. I'm just a regular guy who has a passion for vaping and sharing that with others. So I would much rather have you as a friend than as a fan. All right, Giant Vapes.
Hey, look, the camera's on me for a change. Where are we going? We're going to go over here to the Giant Vapes area. Here we go.
Giant Vapes, a major sponsor of NVE, was there. They were set up in the back, really big, professional, mature-looking area with some seating and stuff. Some of the liquid lines that he carries were there. I ran into Mike, a.k.a. Hill Giant, quick as I was walking through with the camera.
Hey, let me know.
I got one of those fancy...
I know. Well, I got to keep up with the younger guys. How's it going for you?
Great.
Place looks great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Place looks great. I tell you what, he did a really nice job of cleaning everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, this event looks
I
really,
yell at 'em a
really.
lot,
I know you do. I know you do.
It's all good.
How are things going for you, Mike?
Great. The booth's packed. We've had people in here. We've already gotten a bunch of wholesale orders. We already have people that have sold out of 3 milligram in like
Really?
3 hours. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh boy.
So
Well,
it's
there's
pretty
worse
crazy.
problems to have.
Yeah. How long are you here?
I'm here till very, very, very early Monday morning.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Come by and visit.
Cool, brother.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
And then reviewers. There were a lot of reviewers at this event. I talked to most, if not all of them, I would imagine. I'm sure I missed a couple, but let's see. Matt Suck My Mod was there.
Matt, how are things going, brother?
It's going good. Just trying to wake up.
It hurts talking to you because like I actually have to lift my arm up high. You're a very tall guy.
I just wish there was more e-liquid here.
Oh, yeah, really?
Mike Vapes was there. I hung out with him, talked with him a little bit, and he was there supporting his liquid line, Hit That Juice. As a matter of fact, I tried Mike's liquids, and they were really good. There was one there, I think it was called Chocolate Frosted, that took me by surprise. It was really, really excellent. A little on the sweet side for me, guys. As a matter of fact, most of the liquids that I tried were. But I mean, if you're into that like sweeter kind of liquid and you like a chocolate frosted donut type thing, that chocolate frosted from Mike Vapes, Hit That Juice, is really good. Try that out. And I heard that Mike may have partied a little, like he did a PBusardo. He partied maybe a little bit too hard. Well, not really a PBusardo. See, because if PBusardo parties really hard, he still makes it to the event on time. Mike didn't exactly do that on on day one of the event, and his voice was really, really rough. It was really rough, and it was nice. It was nice to see somebody else hungover for a change. Let's see, who else? Mark Fagan, Brian. I met Zophie for the first time. She was there. Heavy Metal was there, and I'm sure there's other reviewers that I talked to that I'm forgetting right now, and I apologize. But I met Jay Hayes. Okay, Jay. You know what I like about Jay Hayes' videos? They're so relaxed and calm and drama-free. I wound up talking with Jay for a while because he's old school Jersey, right? So we wound up talking about music and music back in the day, and he was into like a lot of the music that I was into when I was DJing back then, the old school Latin freestyle, right? You know, Johnny O and Cynthia and Lil Susie. And we talked online a little bit, and I actually wound up sending him an old freestyle mix that I did back in the DJ Miami days. So it was cool to talk to him and get to know him a little bit. I also got to meet Tony B for the first time, and it was fun and kind of funny because we actually picked up Tony B from a different airport. We got Scott. Scott came in the same airport that we came into, and then Tony B was at a different airport. So we were on our way to pick up Tony B, and we busted his balls a little bit. I'm so glad he has a sense of humor, because as we were on our way to pick up Tony B, Dimitri kind of texted him and he said, "Tony, sorry that we wanted to let you know that the price of the ride has gone up 15%. And then he texted him that it went up 30% and then 50%. And then we told him that we decided not to pick him up, that we were going to go pick up another reviewer instead. So Tony, it was very, very good to meet you, and thank you for having a sense of humor. And then a guy who I have not met yet in real life yet, I've talked to him a whole bunch of times and I've been on his show. That would be Scott from the True Vapor show. And, you know, I always thought Scott a nice guy with my interactions with him online, with my interactions with him on the show. But it was really, really cool, and it was really great to meet Scott in real life and in person and have a chance to talk with him. So much so that I wanted to sit Scott down and talk to him a little bit on camera, and this is how that went. Scott, it is so good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, brother.
I don't know. I've never done the microphone thing before, so this is going to be weird for me too. Usually, I'm just talking into the thing, but I'm gonna do the microphone thing. Sure. How you enjoying it?
I'm loving it so far. A lot of awesome people here right now. I've been to a lot of events, but this is the first time that, since I am in the YouTube community, this is the first time that we've had this many YouTubers at one event, and that's awesome to me because this is something I love to do, I'm very passionate about. And then of course getting to meet you. I mean, like I said, you were one of the first I've started watching, and to hang out with you, you know, it's been an awesome ride so far.
I really appreciate that. You know, I've been on the show a whole bunch of times, and you obviously do the True Vapor show, yes, right? Sir. So tell people about the True Vapor show. How did the True Vapor show get started? And we're going to talk about your experience here, but talk to me about the True Vapor show. But even before that, how did you get involved with vaping, and how did you get hooked up with, you know, your crew? your boys, right?
Yep.
And where did the True Vapor Show come from?
All right, vaping started from, I was a smoker for almost 30 years. I wanted to quit cigarettes. Tried, and finally somebody at work had a vaporizer. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go try it. Tried it, and it worked. I literally went from smoking pack and a half a day to nothing. And I'm almost 5 years cigarette free, which I love. So as I started into the vaping world, started off on a little pen, and you know, it did it for a while, but then sub-ohm tanks started coming out and stuff like that. I'm like anybody else. I've used YouTube to look at other products, and I figure, well, hell, there's got to be people doing stuff as a vaping also. Type it in, who shows up? My boy Phil right here. So, so I was like, I'm going to give this a try. Started throwing up a few reviews, and people started watching a little bit, and I was like, well, hey, this is fun to do. I like doing it. And did that for a little while. Well, I started noticing people were doing live feeds on YouTube. And I was like, man, that would be kind of cool to do. Me and a fellow named Daryl Shernigan, name was Quest for Vape on YouTube. We got together and we said, well, you know, why don't we start a little show together? We kicked around some names. That's the name we finally came up with. And me and him did the show for a good long while.
So you were with him before you were the other two characters?
Yes.
Okay.
We did like the first 1 or 2 shows together with just basically me and him. Brought in a few others. And like my 3rd or 4th show, I hit up Mark Fagan. And I said, man, I'd love for you to come on. And I'll be damned, he answered me in an email. And I was like, well, wow. At that point in time, Mark had like maybe 20,000 something subscribers. And I thought, well, hey, this is pretty cool. So, and it turned into where it was a weekly thing. And he kept on doing it with me every week. And we just kind of built our crew up. And we've gone through different people. But we also went through a website a long time ago called My Vaporium. And that's a lot where I've met Mike, all the big names in the industry. Right. You know, they all kind of, you know, just based around all that. Yeah. And there's things on the internet where we can go into rooms where we're all looking at one another talking like we do on the shows, but it's not public to everybody.
Right.
So I started asking these guys as I got to know them longer, hey, you want to come on my show? And then, like I said, it just kind of snowballed and turned into what it is today. It was one of the hardest people to get on the show was you, because
come on, that's not true. I was very easy to get on the show. What I told you was keep bugging me, I think, right?
It was, but the funniest thing with you, when I sent you an email, I said, hey Phil, do you want to come on my show? And you was like, well, what time is it? When I told you the morning, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I had to get up. I had because I was working back then. Not that I'm not working now, but
you were doing your engineer's job at the time, and it was like, hey, I understand there's a lot of people I hit up not on my schedule because I work evenings. But it finally worked out. I got you on a show, and I was on a few different shows with you, Mark's show, and I think a few others. But, you know, I got to meet the other side of you, and both sides are awesome. But I got to kind of, when you meet people beyond the camera,
yeah,
it's like you get a different feel for things. And I'm like, Phil's an awesome dude. You know, this is really cool. But
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's what I said.
But it's been very humbling for me, all the people I've got to meet. I still do reviews from time to time, but I feel like I've got a passion on the live shows to where I'd rather put my energy more into that, because I love bringing different people on, different topics of what's going on today in the industry, and just having a good time hanging out. You know, we can all get caught up in this stuff a lot, but you need time to let your hair down. And I think a lot of times, I know when you've come on, you've been kind of like the laid-back Phil, which I love, and that's what I want. I don't want people coming on and feeling they're like on some type of script or something like that.
Right.
I don't care for that.
Yeah.
And most of the shows we do, that's the way we are. You know, it's unscripted. We just let it go. But people have kind of learned we're like a TV show each week. If there's not a show on, people are raising hell going, why the hell was there not a show this week? And it's just, that's even humbling to know that people really care enough that they want to see us every week and see what we bring to the table. So.
Now, who costs more to have on the show? Is it Mark Fagan or is it Mike Vapes? Who costs more?
Actually, yours was kind of up over everybody.
That's not true. It's not true.
No fees charged on this. It's all done out of friendship, bud.
Now, who do you like better? Do you like Fagan better, or do you like Vapes?
Here we go. I love all y'all. I'm gonna leave it like that.
You politically correct bastard.
I do want to say this though. So I think
who's more cuddly, Mark Fagan or Mike Vapes? Who's more cuddly? Who would you say is more cuddly?
Mark. I got to say Mark.
I see. I would have gone Mark too. Yeah, I would have absolutely gone Mark.
He is kind of like the big teddy bear. He can't see all that well or hear all that well, and I think that's why you can cuddle easy on him, because they don't know that you're attached to him. So.
He can't see or hear that well. Is that?
That's very true. Very true.
Well, that's interesting, because I was calling him the other night like several times, and he never turned around. And I thought like most people just ignore me, but so that's actually something going on there.
That is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So tell what you were going to be serious about then.
So I caught y'all on Facebook the other day, seen the live feed going across, and we were talking about the airport situation, about how we were coming in and all that. And when y'all gave me the invitation to ride with y'all, I was thinking, wow, I haven't even got to meet these guys face to face yet, and we're going to take us a car ride. So what better way to kind of get together and, meet? And I think it was awesome.
And so, I mean, like, truth be told, right, what you experienced in that car, right, I mean, with me and Dimitri and, like, all the ball busting and everything, was there any difference between what happens on camera and in real life?
100% no. It's all real shit, so. But it was awesome. I love it. And you've treated me with a bunch of respect, just like I'm going to give to you. And one thing I got to say, I have noticed with some people that have got kind of what you want to say star status to YouTube.
Never happen, yeah.
You've been a very respectful person to me, and very friendly to me, and it's not like you make me feel that I have to lick your boots or something like that.
That's later on.
That is.
Yeah,
Well,
that's off cam. But
we don't do it on cam. But honestly, you're just like a dear friend to me, like anybody else that I've run with on this. So
I really appreciate that, because when I've done the show a couple of times, first of all, the show is actually good for me, right? It's good for me because when I do the reviews, I want to talk about the product. I want to get the review done. I don't want to, yeah, sure, there's a little bit of monologue there at the beginning where I'm talking like personal stuff and things like that, but I really don't get a whole lot of stuff off my chest. But I could come on your show, and I've been laid back, and I've been also kind of hyper and angry on your show too about a couple topics, right? And I appreciate you having me on the show to allow me to do that, right? Because I stay out of the drama as much as possible, man. And there's way too much of it out there, but... So what do you like to do outside of vaping? I mean, you have any other hobbies, anything you like to do?
My biggest hobby, and a lot of people, I do catch shit over this, I live in the South, so I love guns. I've been a person that has been shooting guns since I was probably too young to be shooting a gun, but that's one of my loves in life. I work, I do YouTube, I'm with my family also when available, but again, with me working nights, it just turns my life upside down, so I don't get a whole lot of extra time to do other things.
Right. So he's into guns. So, like, if you're thinking about robbing his house of all of his vape gear, you just think twice, okay? That would be a bad idea. So what do you do for a job?
I'm in the medical field. I deal with hips and knees. So another thing that kind of we were talking about a while back, I know your dad just had knee surgery,
yes,
so
did, yeah.
I was like, wow, I know what he just went through with all that stuff, but that's what I do. We make the product that went into your dad, and it's something I love to do. It's a job that keeps me interested in going every day, because I know everything that I handle is going into somebody's body, and it's pretty wild.
It's really interesting because in a way you make people's lives better in two different ways, like through vaping and tobacco harm reduction, but also in that, right?
I've never really looked at it like that, but that is true. I do have my hands on it, So between the other two characters, that Fagan guy and that Mike Vapes guy, you seem to tend to be maybe the level-headed guy of the group. And I also notice you're using like a lot of pod systems now. I see you're always carrying around the pod system too. So talk to me about that. How do you guys play off of each other? Well, I guess I am kind of like, I always hear the grandpa thing that I'm like, though, and I technically I am the oldest one out of the whole crew. And you got to include Brian and Heavy into this, because it's really, that is our biggest group, plus Phenom. Don't forget Phenom.
Okay.
But I'm the oldest out of the bunch, so they call me grandpa. Of course, I got a little bit of gray, and that's it, but I'm not that old, believe me. The pod system thing, I was like a lot of other people. I do stuff like this all the time, but I was curious to try it, and I think you even made the comment to me, you know, people shouldn't look down to you because you've tried some other way of vaping, as long as you're still vaping. And I was curious. I said, you know, there's situations where I'm around family members or other people that don't vape, smoke, or anything, and don't want me sitting around blowing big clouds around them. So they want me to be a little discreet. So I tried something. I've actually enjoyed it. So I've had a few companies reach out, send me some pods. I've actually purchased some, and I enjoy going back and forth between the two. So, and I'm seeing a lot of other people are getting interested in it and enjoying this, you know, also.
Absolutely. It's almost like it's the new hotness. But people feel like you're betraying them because you're vaping a different style, and that's crazy to me.
And I don't understand that. I get the same feel. It's like, oh, I've done something bad because I've come off of this to go to this. It's all the same thing. Yes, my nic level's a little higher, but I'm not near taking in what I'm taking in off of something like this.
Exactly right. So like you're doing this, you're not smoking.
Yeah.
You're doing this, you're not smoking. You're doing this, you're not smoking. Bottom line is, we're not smoking.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, it has been an awesome time at the show. I mean, I met. Who did you meet outside of me that you haven't seen before or met before?
Dimitri, of course.
Okay.
Jay Hayes was here. He's a character.
He really is.
I'm trying to think of. I seen Zophie in passing. We never spoke or anything like that, but there's probably a few others that I'm forgetting here. But a lot of the group I've seen at other events. So, but this is the first time we've had this many YouTubers, I think, that I've been to, you know, an event, and it was just awesome. So
it really was. As a matter of fact, I took a couple photos because you guys were all up there judging the liquid competition,
yes.
Right? So that's cool. I met Zophie. I've never met Zophie before. Never shook your hand in person before. We're doing this now. A few other guys. Felix is here. Heavy Metal Biker is here. Obviously, Fagan's here. Mike Vapes is here. It's like a lot of YouTubers are hanging out here. It would be nice if Nick was here. Suck My Mod is here too.
Oh, again, I haven't met Matt yet, but Matt's been on my show many a times, and he was another one. So
Matt's a good guy. Matt, I like Matt a lot too.
Matt is awesome. Matt kind of shocked me because another thing, people try to size us up, but they always see us sitting like this. But when we go to events, a lot of times people come up like, "Wow, ST, you're a pretty big guy," and stuff like that. I am 6'3". I'm a pretty big fella. Matt freaked me out. Matt is a tall dude. We eye to eye with each other, and I'm like, I don't typically see people. One other person I did meet, Big Lou, and I know why he got his name Big Lou, because when I got to look up to somebody and talk, and I feel like a little dwarf, that's a big boy right there. So he's an awesome guy too, very friendly, but like I said, there's probably too many to mention, but there was a lot of YouTubers at this event. And I've heard from a lot of the public that's come up saying, wow, we've never had this many people turn out to Foxwoods before. So,
yeah. So I was with them for the first show. I can't remember if I did the second one or not. I can't remember what I did yesterday anymore. But the show is really good, and I like the fact that he's keeping it as clean as possible. Like he's turned away a lot of vendors, and I appreciate that. I think he could still do more for the smokers, especially when you have a giant casino full of them right over there. But hopefully he works on that and he improves that too.
Definitely. And it's funny because I don't normally go to a casino, but being in one, I always forget, like, if we go to the bar area or we're cutting through the casino to go somewhere, the cigarette smoke is so repulsive, and it's like, oh my God. But people look at us, the smokers, and think, ooh, look, what are they doing? They're going to kill themselves on this. No.
Isn't that unbelievable? It is. It's true, though. As soon as I walk into the casino, it's like, wow, the smell really, really bothers me. Dimitri was saying the same thing yesterday.
I want you to be one of my full-time members, and I know I can't make it. I don't make enough money to keep paying him to come on like that. I know folks are going to think, wow, they're serious about it.
I know. That's what they're going to think. There's going to be drama all over YouTube now. Like, oh, Phil gets paid money to go on Scott's show.
I love having Phil on the show, though. He brings that sense of humor that the other guys are not doing. So
I'm like the comic relief. Even like in the advocacy panel that I did yesterday, because advocacy could be painfully boring, right? And I just try to be, like it'll be serious, and it gets to me, and maybe it's not so serious. And I think that's important because I think we need more of that in advocacy to keep people kind of engaged and involved in it. And, although we see everything in vaping looking like it's growing, looking like it's getting bigger and bigger, we're still at the mercy of what's going to happen. So it's like we have to be on top of advocacy. We got to take it very, very seriously.
That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
No, but and I want to say thank you for everything that you do in this business. Without you, we wouldn't be sitting right here right now.
I don't know about without me, but there's a lot of people like they're much more involved in advocacy than I am. But I help out where I can. I do what I can. I try to spread as much as I can. I keep it out of the videos. My videos are review videos, and that's what they should be. But you know, where I can help out and taste your juice. I spoke at a public council meeting in Florida. That was my first time speaking. Well, my God, was I nervous. So it's amazing how you like, get up on stage here. No problem at all. I can talk to all the people on YouTube. No problem at all. You get in that council meeting, you're like, oh my God.
It frees up all.
Oh yeah, it was not comfortable. It was not comfortable. But man, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back on your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Phil.
Lots of luck with everything, brother.
I love you, brother.
So yeah, really good to meet and to hang out with Scott and get to know him a little bit better. I think our friendship will be ongoing. Let's see, what else? Products. There were a bunch of products there, as you could imagine. It was also nice that, although Matt, a.k.a. Suck My Mod, said, made a little funny about e-liquid, there was some hardware there at this event, too. As a matter of fact, there were two rooms. The room upstairs had a modders gallery. It wasn't a very large modders gallery, but it was a modders gallery, and it was nice to see that at an NVE event. And, although there was the modders gallery set up in one area, it was kind of cool to see Rio's mods there, okay? Rio was there, and if you're into squonking, right, like the squonker here that we're going to talk a little bit about in this video, that's the history of squonking. Rio was one of the first squonkers out there, and to see them at an event like this and to have some new product and coming out with additional product, I think that's a good thing. So I thought it was terrific to see Eric from Rio's Mods at this event. All right, so were there any liquids that I tried that kind of stood out? Now, I didn't try a whole lot of e-liquids. I did try a bunch of e-liquids. As you can imagine, at shows, it's really difficult for me. I kind of prefer a 50-50 blend. I prefer low sweetener. I prefer high nicotine, which is like exact opposite of the majority of what you see at the events. But I did try a couple that I wanted to talk about. The first one is going to be from Camelot e-liquid, and it's called Beignet, okay? And this is, again, a pretty sweet liquid, but when you get beyond all that sweetness, or if you like all that sweetness, down deep inside this e-liquid is a really good, like, fried dough beignet type e-liquid, and I thought it was outstanding, and I wanted to mention it in this video, so there you go. That's going to be Camelot Liquid Beignet. Kevin was there, and Kevin had his e-liquid line, and his e-liquid line is called Tea Time. He actually uses no sweeteners as an advertising point for his e-liquid, and this one, he had two of them there. I really did like this one. It is a cherry vanilla tea. Really nice e-liquid, and this one is going to be from Tea Time. Lots of luck with this e-liquid, Kevin. I think this is really good. The boys from Rawberry pulled me over to their booth to have me try this one, and as a matter of fact, when I liked it, I really liked it, and I said, wow, if you had a 12, I would take it with me, and they said, sorry, we don't have any 12s, and then wouldn't you know it, like later on in the event, they come running back with some 12s. I don't know if these were like made at their local shop. I don't know, but really good. Like if you like berry vapes, I think you're going to like this one. But the thing that was interesting about this liquid is that how clean it vaped. And because you had like a lot of full flavor going in, you had a lot of full flavor going out, and then it just dissipated. Really a unique vape. I haven't experienced anything like this in a vape before, and they actually say that it runs very, very clean on your coils. Okay, but I enjoyed it. They got me these 12s, and I want to share it with you. So this is going to be Rawberry, clean flavor, refined taste. And then another liquid that I tried that actually, from what they're telling me, has no sweetener at all, and it vaped very, very clean. Not only that, but it also won Best in Show. And the way Mike did the contest, or the liquid judging, was kind of unique. He had a whole bunch of reviewers sit down in an area, and they were given blind samples of the different e-liquids in the different categories, and they judged and they rated, and that's how the winners were found. And this one wound up winning Best Overall, and this is Paradigm's Nilla Killa. I hung out with those guys at the booth. They won a nice big award, so congratulations to them. And this was the liquid, Nilla Killa. Again, a really clean, nice bakery, kind of like a Nilla wafer dessert vape. So congratulations, Paradigm, Nilla Killa, Best in Show. All right, a couple other neat little novelty thingies that I saw when I was there, and this is one of them. This is the V Stealth. It's a lip gloss, right? Your lip gloss be popping. This is like chapstick, right? No. So here's the idea with the V Stealth. You're someplace where maybe you can't put a whole bunch of vapor out, and what you do is you blow your vapor into this thing. Watch this. Okay. Did you see anything? Kind of cool. I actually wound up using this at dinner one night, and what it is there's a little piece of like cloth or absorbent material right here in the center, and you blow the vapor through, and basically the vapor turns back into a liquid form in that chamber, and then the air comes here with very little to no vapor coming out. But kind of a unique little idea you might be interested in from V Stealth. I don't have the website, but I have their Facebook, so I'll go ahead and put it here in this video. Here's another one that you might be interested in. This is called the clip draw from Vaping Art, and what it is, it's a belt clip or like a purse clip too that you attach to your mod, and you don't have to worry about ruining the surface or the finish of your mod because this is going to use the 3M strips that you might be familiar with. You know how you pull it and it kind of releases itself from what it's stuck to. So that's what this is. So you just you use the strips. It's got a full installation kit here with some cleaning pads and everything, and you attach the clip to your mod, and then you could use it as a belt clip. So this is the original clip draw from Vaping Art. While I was up there in the Modders Gallery, I met the gentleman behind Wicked by BB Royale, and what they do is they make the actual stabilized wood blocks that's used by modders to make stabilized wood mods, right? But they also make other things. They make accessories out of stabilized wood, so they make pens and they make little toolkits like this one right here that they gifted me. So a little keychain toolkit here made out of stabilized wood, and if I unscrew this top part, you'll see the little pieces that come out here that I could use to make little tools to work on my atomizer. So thank you very much to the folks at Wicked by BB Royale. Now, another thing that I saw a lot of, as you can imagine, in the Modders Gallery were squonkers. Okay, squonkers are they're the hotness right now. There's a lot of people that are enjoying squonking. A lot of people who are using Squonk Box mods. Even though I don't squonk a lot, I still like to go up there and feel and hold and see what's going on, right? And I'm kind of a stickler for the button. I like, I've been accused in the past of liking clicky buttons. I don't like clicky buttons. I like tactile feedback buttons. I like that little tactile click that you get when you push a button, letting you know that contact has been made and the device is firing. Now, on a lot of the mechanical box mods or box squonkers, right? Sometimes you don't get that tactile click because basically there's a bar, there's a contact in there, and when you push the button, you're pushing that bar into another contact, right? But so I was holding and I was feeling and I was looking, and I had this one in my hands, and this is the E Phoenix, okay? The E Phoenix Fury squonker, right? And as soon as I pushed that button, I was like, oh my God, that feels so good. And I did, I liked it. And I started looking closer at them, and Vaping Art did wind up giving me one to talk to you guys a little bit about. Now, you remember I just did the build and the review on this one. This is going to be the Berserker mouth-to-lung RDA with the squonk pin option, right, the bottom feeding pin. So that's how I have it set up. And I didn't even change the build. This is still, I think, around, what did it come out to? Something like 0.86 or 0.89 ohms. So I've got it on the E Phoenix, and it's just working terrific. Didn't even have to change the build. Really good. And I thought the price point on this one was good too. $124 for the mod. Now, something else that I don't like to talk about on my channel a whole lot anymore are mechanicals, right? Simply because I think with a mechanical, you need a little bit more knowledge of battery safety. The safety of a mechanical is really in your hands, okay? So the device doesn't have anything going on in there to protect you for the most part when it comes to mechanicals. So you need to know something about battery safety, battery capabilities, matching your build to your batteries. Well, this one is like, you know how when we look at mods and the mods have bypass mode, so I say it turns it into a bit of a mechanical with protection still in it, right? So that's what this one kind of is like. It's like a kind of like a cross between a mechanical and a regulated device. Now it's not regulated, you're still vaping off the battery, but there is still built-in safety for you. So we have a 5-click on and off on this one, we have reverse battery protection on this one, we've got low resistance protection, we have short circuit protection, we have a little indicator light on here that's going to let you know the charge status of your battery. So, you know, for $124, I think this is a really nice, well-built, well-made device. So if you're interested in a Squonk box, and you want, so is it going to hit as hard as a mechanical squawk? Probably not, although I don't have any numbers on it. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future. Just kind of see what kind of output we get from this one compared to like a mechanical squawk box. But if you're in the market for a really nicely made squawk box with some built-in protection that feels and looks really good, this might be right up your alley. So we'll just take a quick closer look at this one. All right, guys, so here's a closer look at the ePhoenix Fury squawk box. Again, this one came from Vaping Art. We can take a look at this one. We see kind of the panels that come with the mod are going to be this gloss black, right? And you can see that. They also wind up being fingerprint magnets. We see a logo here. We see ePhoenix on the back of it in pretty bold print here. On this side, we're going to find the fire button, and that is going to give you some information about what's going on. It's going to flash different ways depending on error conditions. It's also going to show you the charge status of your battery based on the color there. We do have the 5-click on and off, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This button is really, really terrific. It's got great tactile feedback. It's quiet. It feels expensive, right? So let me let you hear this button. So there's a few clicks on the button for you. Let's turn this back on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see that light come back on, and now it is activated again. All right, so these panels do remove, so I'll go ahead and remove this panel. We find our battery in here. Let's get our battery out. Underneath the battery, we do see proper battery orientation indicators. We see a spring-loaded contact up here at the top, and of course our squawk bottle. And this is going to be that squishy, that really, really squishy, soft silicone material. And you can see it's starting to feed that e-liquid up into the atomizer. So we can just go ahead and remove that real quick. All right, this is going to have a self-adjusting spring-loaded 510 pin on here to make contact with your atomizer. You can see that right there. Now that the atomizer is removed, we can see the platform on this. We see ePhoenix on the platform, and we see Swiss made because this is a product that is made in Switzerland. We'll take a look at the size of that platform, and that platform is ever so slightly raised from the device, and we can see that platform is about 23 millimeters, okay, and that platform is slightly raised from the device, very, very slight, but it is all the way around, so that's going to keep the finish of the top here protected as your atomizer sits on top of that. We can see how clean everything looks on the inside, okay, and we do see some wires going up to the 510 connection. Now I can use my finger here to poke the back panel out. Right, and that is how we get the back panel. We can see the wires here going into the control area. Now I've gone ahead and removed this little panel that sits over that control area, so we can kind of peek in there a little bit and see the circuit board that's being used in this device. Now the device itself is very light. This is going to be an aluminum device, and it does come with the 2 acrylic piano black panels, all right, but you can also get stabilized wood panels for these, and I got a couple here. So these are the ePhoenix Fury panels. Let's go ahead and open these up. We'll go ahead and change the look of the device. Again, the device itself is going to be $124.95 from Vaping Art, and then you can get the panels for $60, and they have a whole bunch of different panels to choose from. So let's go ahead and put a couple of these panels on. They are held in place with magnets. We see the magnets here on the back of the covers, and then we also see the magnets on the device itself. So now we've changed the look of our device, but we probably should have put the battery and the liquid bottle in there first. So let's go ahead and reinsert the liquid bottle. All right, let's put the battery back in. And now let's put the panel back on. One of the nice things too about this cutout is, you know, if you have a larger finger and you have a small squonk hole to get your finger into, it could make squonking a little bit more challenging. This one, I notice I'm using it like this, and I'm just using this finger or this finger to just kind of give that bottle a gentle push, and we see the e-liquid start coming through the 510 connection there. So let's screw our atomizer back on, and we're ready for use. One thing that I will make a comment on, I really wish these covers, because this is really beautiful and well done, but I wish the covers held in place a little bit stronger. I wish these magnets, I wish there were either more of them, or they held the covers in place a little bit stronger, because I do notice when I squonk, you could actually start to see the cover kind of bow out a little bit there, right? You see that? Right, so I wish these covers were held in place a little bit better. But there you go, the ePhoenix Fury squonk box, really beautiful, really well-made squonk box, kind of a cross between a pure mechanical and something with some built-in safety protection for you. I was going to announce the winner of the last Nada contest, but it's actually still running at the time I'm making this video right here. So we'll wrap that up in the next video, and we'll kick off another contest at that time as well. So yeah, it was a really good event. It was so great to meet so many of you guys and to hang out with you, meet and hang out with all of the reviewers. Dimitri was there for a day to hang out with me. I'm going to be hanging out with Dimitri a lot in the next few weeks and months. Let's see, who else? Anybody else? If I forget somebody, I apologize. Jay DeLuco, aka Upstomp, always good to see you. And Cisco. Cisco is there as well. Always good to see and talk and hang out with you as well, my friend. So that is it. That is the end of this video. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. But I got to pack. I got to pack up for Lille. No, not Lille. It's Lille, France. And again, looking forward to that event. Patrick always does a really, really good event with the Vape Expos. And if you have the opportunity, please do go and stop by and say hi. And that's it. That's the end of this video. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?